Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime, in the between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds, starting with Dun, Dun, Dun. D, what up? I see you. TC Wade, I see you. What's up? What's up? What's up? Carla Lord. Lloyd, I say Lord. Lloyd. Axla. Okay, so Jackie, what's up, Jackie Benjamin? Alicia Smith, Alan Thompson, Ken Roberts, Flatfinder Vancouver. What up? Straight from the gate. What's up, Callie? See Jeremy Russian, Dallas, Texas in the building. Who's that? Black Air? What up? Vietnam Styles. What it do? In motion. So let's do the dance called the Pee Wee Herman. What's up, Sid Lewis? H-Town in the building. YB Rax. Greetings. What's up, Ruben? Who is that? Abdul? What's up, Abdul? Natasha, Sean. All right, fam. What's up, Eric? I'm going in. Going in, man. Going in. Man. Boy, family, these are some trying times. I spoke with an Iranian American buddy of mine today, and we had a pretty serious conversation. If you don't, let me tell you something, fam, real quick. If you don't know, like, if you don't have relationships outside of your immediate circle, as far as like, you know, your background, your color, your beliefs, where you come from, you should try to, you know, extend yourself a little bit more, because you learn more. You get a better, like, a view of the world, instead of just being in your own little enclave and only know what you know and know the people that know you and that look like you, that has the same religion you have, the same skin color you have, the same, you know, went to the same schools you went to and all that. Some people like that, and it works for some people. For some people, that's their comfort zone. But for me, I'm one of those dudes. I like information. I like information, and I like learning, and I like the idea of diversity in terms of like everybody not being the same way. I like that. They say variety is the spice of life. They say variety is the spice of life. So look, fam, Iran has a new leader after the United States killed their supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. That was about 9 days ago. They killed him on the first day of the war. And I don't even know if you want to call it a war the first day, because it was more like an invasion. But in any event, they killed him. He was 89 years old. Well, he got a son. And the United States said that replacing him with his son, we ain't having it. We're not going to let that happen. So don't even try. Well, the Iranian people have the last say on that. And they say, we're going to do what we want. We're going to we're going to appoint the person that we think is best suited to lead us. And that person is the son of the Ayatollah. And they're saying, hey, that's what it is, man. Let me get into this story from the Los Angeles Times that that pretty much sums up what's going on here. Oh, and by the way, the United States said that the 7th U.S. service member had been killed during the war. Reports are that those numbers are grossly underreported. People who are on the ground saying that America is flat out lying, they have lost a lot more service members than that. In fact, they said that, not service members, but just military personnel, well, service members. Well, they say that they've lost a lot more Americans who have been killed than just 7. I thought that that was a strange number myself, but they say that, yeah, that number is grossly underreported. You cannot believe that information. Okay, the U.S., and this is per the Los Angeles Times, the U.S. and Israeli war against Iran entered its 9th day Sunday with no clear path towards de-escalation, as the U.S. announced a 7th American service member had been killed, and Iranian state TV reported the selection of the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's son, as his successor. Meanwhile, the price of oil surpassed $100 a barrel for the first time in 3.5 years. President Trump said deploying American troops, ground troops to the Middle East remains under consideration, and Iran's foreign minister rejected calls for a ceasefire. So he's leaving his options open for putting groups or boots on the ground, and the foreign minister rejected calls for a ceasefire. So Iran is saying, no, it's too late for all of that. You know, we are right over here. We good. We don't want no ceasefire now. Y'all wanted war. Y'all got war. That's what Iran is saying. Trump said last week that Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of the 86-year-old former leader who was killed on the first day of U.S. and Israeli attacks, would be an unacceptable choice to replace his father. The clerical body in charge of choosing Iran's next supreme leader chose him anyway, state TV reported Sunday. So yeah, the clerical body said, man, y'all don't tell us what to do. This is our country. Y'all don't tell us, you know, who to vote for. Like, we don't come over there and tell y'all who to vote for. We don't, like, the people in America don't want you in office, Trump, but we ain't in y'all business. We ain't trying to make y'all, we ain't trying to get rid of you. Well, maybe they are right now, but you know, we ain't trying to go over there and tell y'all how to run y'all elections and how to choose y'all leaders. How you gonna come over here and tell us who we can and who we can't have as a replacement for our leadership? The younger Khamenei, 56, who is a Shiite cleric, has never held government office. This is interesting, but has long been a quiet force within his father's inner circle. As supreme leader, he will play a central role in deciding Iran's war strategy moving forward, with powerful paramilitary Islamic Revolution Guard Corps answering to him. Say, man, this is, I don't know, maybe this is kind of balanced, because America got people who are, you know, who are directing the military who ain't never had no military experience. So, you know, I guess what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I guess they're saying, like, man, you don't need military experience. Just we'll help guide you. We need, I think this is one of those calls where they chose the son. I think this was more so for like a moral boost for the country, for those, for the Iranian people and this was like a defiant action on behalf of the Iranian leadership to say, hey, man, we still have Iranian people who have the Iranian people's interest at heart first. Now, from what I understand, that this government, the prior regime, did not do right by the people overall. So you know that every country has good and bad in it, right? And you can say something bad about every single government. My buddy Moore said that was for 50 years, the Iranian people had been oppressed. And I think that, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I do believe that we both came to the conclusion that that there is no way possible with the United States invading Iran that this is going to be a win, an overall win for Iran. Iranians are going to suffer no matter what. I think they would have suffered if the regime stayed the way it was. And then I think there's going to be some suffering afterwards, because when it comes to the United States of America, the U.S. has never invaded no country. There has never been a country the U.S. has invaded and left that country better off than it was before it invaded it. You got to think about what the strategy here is, fam. When the United States invade countries, they typically go in and say, we're invading because we want to liberate the people. You are treating the people badly. But usually it's something more nefarious. It's more like, we really want these oil and these minerals. We really want your resources. We really want to set up shop. We want to put a military base here, so that we can strategically attack our enemies if need be. We need to be close, get close enough to our enemies where if we have to strike, we can easily strike. So usually, it's well, not usually, but it's an ulterior motive. It's always a catch, right? It's always a catch. It's never strictly for the people. But I think that some of the Iranian people, I think they're falling for the banana in the tailpipe. The ones who are screaming Trump, 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 that's real. There's a lot of them out there who are screaming Trump, and they're excited about a change. But what they don't understand is the change is not going to happen so that the people, like if America has this way, the change won't happen because of trying to, implement a better treatment for the people of Iran. That's not what it's for. The change will happen if America has its way to control Iran, which means that the suffering that Iran is experiencing will continue. It'll just continue under Western policies. That'll be the big difference. And so now you have a country where even it may be people that look like you that are in charge, but now you have people that look like you and they have a completely Western mindset and the ways of the West. So if you think about it, think about how things are in the West. The idea is for every nation on the planet to have a culture like America's, like the Western culture, to live like the West. So that means anything that go on in the West, now you have it in your country. All of these things that you look at in America and you say it's immoral, now it becomes normalized in your country. That's what's going to happen. And the policies that are written will no longer, that won't even be a shred of Iranian policies. You know, it'll all be Western, all of it. So if they can't see that, they will see it in the future. This is why this is why Iraq resisted so strongly. Iraq was like, you can't kill all of us. And even if you do, we will not ever bend to the Western ways. We will not ever accept the Western ways, no matter what you say, no matter what you do. No matter what you do, we won't accept it. And Iran fought back for years and years and years, and they lost many, many people. They lost tens of thousands of people. But they continued to fight, and they kept on fighting until America just said, you know what? Hey, man, let's just get out of here, man. These motherfuckers, they're hard-headed, man. They won't fall. They won't fold. They just won't fold. We got our feet on their neck. They won't die. They won't fold. So I'm telling you what happened. Iran saw what America did to Iraq in the first war and in the second war. And the whole time, Iran was preparing for a confrontation with America. See, this is akin to watching the bully others and knowing that, and they're bullying people who are in close proximity to you. So in knowing, if you know anything about bullies, I'm sure most of us have experienced dealing with a bully growing up, right? If you notice anything about a bully, the bully will eventually, if you're in close enough proximity to the bully will eventually make its way to you. And if you know anything about stopping a bully, defeating a bully, then you study the bully before he makes his way to you. Every time he bullies somebody else, you're taking a mental note. You're thinking about how you're going to stop him when he get to you. You're taking mental notes. Okay, I know what he like to do. I know he like to do this. He do it like this. Well, I'm going to handle it like this. Because when you bully people and there's a person on the other side saying that I refuse to be bullied, eventually you'll make your way to that person. And that person will open up a can of whip ass on you. You won't even see it coming. You won't see it coming. So typically the bully is going to be at a disadvantage. He really going to get himself ambushed. He going to walk right into something he wasn't ready for. And this person on this side he really got the edge. He got the advantage because he's been preparing for you all along. You didn't prepare for him because you underestimate him. You underestimate him. He ain't worried about him. But he's been worried about you for a while. And he's been thinking about how he's going to defeat you for a long, long time. So when you finally get to him, when he buck, you're going to be overwhelmed in most cases. Especially one of the hardest things in the world to stop is a determined mind. No matter what happens in Iran, no matter how it ends, Iran will never fold to America. Iran will never bow down. They have too much pride. Iran is a proud country. The people of Iran are a proud country. They are a proud people. And they are the type of people, much like Iraqis, who would rather die than live on their knees. They would rather die than allow a foreign country to invade them and take over their country and compromise their values and beliefs. They would rather die. But they will also kill. before they die. And that's something that Americans are not taught. Americans are taught to just take it, bend over and take it, and make sure you don't complain about it. Because if you complain, then we're going to punish you even harder if you complain. It is extremely difficult to stop a spirit, kindred spirits. See, you can kill a person. You can kill a person. You can kill 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 100,000 people, but you can't kill a spirit. So you killed all of those people really for nothing, because you kill all those, all you're going to do, you kill 100,000 people, all you're going to do is make 1 million people angry enough to want to revenge that 100,000. They're going to live every waking day of their life. They're going to be thinking about revenge. From the time these kids are 2 years old, they're going to be in training, thinking about revenge. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, they're young soldiers. All they thinking about is revenge. All they can remember is what happened to their village, what happened to their community. All they can remember, think of is what happened to their block, what happened to their mosque and their leader. They thinking about this stuff all day, every day. Revenge, 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 revenge. So when you hear death to America, that ain't coming from nowhere. That's coming from America saying death to Iran with its sanctions against Iran, with its bombing of Iran. Iran didn't bomb the U.S. The U.S. bombed Iran. And they're not supposed to say death to America? It amazes me how these people in America can get on TV and, hop on these press conferences and say, they're screaming death to America and we're going to stop that. They're going to scream, motherfucker, you out there killing these people. You're bombing their schools. You're killing children. You're killing their babies. And you're upset because they're saying death to America. You're actually killing people. And you're mad? Man, this is madness to me. It makes no sense whatsoever. Imagine, family, imagine somebody walking up to you and slapping the dog shit out of you. And you slap them back. Bang! Or you pull out a stick and boom! Bust their head to the white meat. And they get on the phone and call the police and talk about how you attacked them. They attacked me over here. They attacked me. I'm afraid for my life. Well, you wasn't over there messing with that. If you didn't go over there messing with that woman, you wouldn't have had to worry about her hitting you in the head and busting your head to the white meat. If you wouldn't have went over there messing with that woman, you wouldn't have had no problems. All America's problems that they're having with Iran right now are self-inflicted. Now, I know some of y'all big bad bullies and y'all tough and y'all just like the idea of America bullying everybody. Y'all like the idea of y'all bullies. Y'all are microcosms of the country. Y'all bullies, just like Trump, y'all bullies. And bullies only strike when they have one of three things: size, weaponry, or numbers. That is the only time bullies strike. You think America don't like some of the things that's going on in China? When that strike gonna happen? When is that invasion gonna happen? Never. Never. Because they ain't got the advantage. So all this tough talk, I'm not impressed. Because look who you talking tough towards. Look who you bullying. Look who you pushing over. Look who you steamrolling on. I'm not impressed. I'm just not impressed. I know some of y'all like to hear Trump talk about what he'll do to people and how sophisticated America is and how strong the army is and the military is this and da. Yeah, but who you doing it to? You bullying people. I'm not impressed. I've never been impressed by a bully. Never. Bullies don't impress me. When Chicago was winning all of those championships, what made me respect Chicago is how they won those championships and who they beat to win those championships. Remember, they got their head beat in by the Pistons for years before they were able to overcome the Pistons and finally emerge as the Eastern Conference champs. They earned it. They fought. They went up against formidable opponents. So the respect was given. And then they turned around and they beat the best in the West. We saw them play these games. We saw the teams that they played against. These were top-notch teams. These were some of the baddest boys that the basketball ever created. And they beat them soundly. That's respect. That's how you get respect. You ain't getting no respect. You beating up on these little old countries, going in or invading a country, taking over the capital and one day and waving the flag like you did something. That ain't nothing. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. It ain't nothing you're going to do to make me impressed. You want to impress me? Invade China. You want to impress me? Invade Russia. But you ain't going to do that because you know what come with that. You see? Out of all them people talking all that shit online about America doing this and what we'll do to this country, I always these little small countries. None of them say, let's go get China next. Let's go get Russia next. You don't never hear that because they know it's over if that happens. It'll be over. They know that little cushy, privileged life that they got is over. You ain't gonna be able to spend none of that money. None of that money. All them billions, to those of you who got sitting on millions, you ain't gonna be able to do none of that. Any of y'all who out there just got them getting them bonuses, got them bonuses at the end of the year, just getting those income tax checks back, you ain't gonna be able to flex none of that. You ain't gonna be able to spend none of that. Do no flexing. It's over. You do not want that. You do not want that smoke. You want a bully. This is where the Karens and the Kens come in at. Have you ever noticed the Karens and the Kens always find obedient black folks? It seemed like they all cut from the same cloth. It's always the same kind of black folks who always be, sir, ma'am, sir, but sir, ma'am, sir. Man, those are terms that are reserved for people you respect. I wish I would call somebody who violate me sir or ma'am. I'm bucking. No more talk.